All right. Well, if you're a CEO or you're running a business and you've got a sales organization and you've been trying to figure out over the last little while, how do I drive up my sales productivity? I'm talking to you. And today I've got a couple of ideas that I think are going to help you increase your sales productivity in your team. Now, the first one might seem a little bit obvious, but number one thing you need to do if you want to drive sales rep productivity is you need to drive the inputs. Now, you need to drive the inputs, however, with a focus on results, okay? Driving the inputs is very, very critical to having success. You got to determine what are the inputs. How many calls does my team to make? How many emails do they need to make? How many outreaches on LinkedIn do they need to make? It's really, really important that you figure out what those metrics look like. And you need to individually debrief your people on your team and discuss the inputs that'll lead to their success, but you need to do it from the lens of a result. Now, if you focus solely on inputs and solely on activity, you run the risk of simply getting activity. And getting activity on its own is not going to produce results, right? You need to really dig into that activity and those inputs with each individual in your team and help them understand why those inputs are going to make them successful. Help them cater those inputs to a model that will yield them with actual results, okay? So really, really important that you drive the inputs. That is always going to be a fundamental cause in driving sales activity. Now, in addition to that, the number two thing that I think that you need to look at is self-development. How are you encouraging self-development? Now, this is not training that you're doing yourself, which is something we're going to talk about number three, but self-development. How are you encouraging your people in your team to learn outside of the office? What books have you recommended to them? What podcasts, webinars have you provided access to them? What are they doing on their own to develop themselves? Sales is an ever-changing, ever-moving, living, breathing sales role and occupation, I should say. It's obviously a sales role. And those high-performing sales people always are self-developing, right? So you got to encourage self-development and provide resources for your team so they can constantly be building on the skill set that they have already. Now, in addition to self-development, driving training yourself is something that I often see missing in an organization. Okay, not only do you need to have an incredible onboarding program and great training program, you need to be presenting weekly relevant training to your team on an ongoing basis. And that training should typically consist 75% of being process training, sales process training, helping them understand how to overcome objections, helping them be better at building rapport and understanding what really matters to the customer, understanding a needs assessment, all the different components that are really important in a sales process. You need to train on those on a regular basis. And more importantly, with the training, you need to do things like role plays and help actually make sure people are executing those theories, because practice and theory, as you all know, are always a little bit different. And so you have to do things like role play and measure their competency on the training that you're providing them. But you have to build a robust training calendar that will build on itself and continue to give your sales team new strategies and refine existing strategies to make them effective at what they do. And the last thing that I think is really important, number four here, that will really help you drive productivity is in the quotas that you set. You need to set challenging quotas. In my experience, which is well over 25 years in sales, the best salespeople love a challenge. They want a challenge. Now, these need to be realistic goals, but they have to be challenging. Set the bar high. A lot of salespeople are competitive and driven for recognition, and setting a challenging goal, when they achieve it, it is so much more satisfying, and it provides a lot more self-satisfaction and recognition from others. And the top salespeople, they want to chase those challenging goals. So hopefully that helps. If you want to chat, I'd love to dig into this further with you. In the comment section, there's a link to my calendar. Let's set up a free chat. Cheers.